Hey friends, welcome back to Irish Acres Homestead. I'm Missy, and I just realized halfway through making this cheese making tutorial that my microphone was turned off. So for part of this, I'm gonna go back and do a voiceover. But I did give a quick little kitchen tour at the beginning, and I'm gonna go ahead and do that again right now so that you can see the kitchen that we have created in our basement apartment that we're living in our neighbor's home. So let's take a little tour. Okay, so this space was plumbed and ready for a kitchen. Our neighbors hadn't done the install of the kitchen yet, so we makeshifted it. The sink is actually the sink that is going to go in our mudroom. And then we got these stainless steel shelves from Home Depot, put some pre-cut butcher block countertops on top of them and kind of drilled little holes so that they don't move around. And it's created a really great kitchen space. Our neighbors were kind enough to actually install the stove for their future kitchen, which they will install in this space once we move out. We have our fridge for our house in here, and it's working out quite nicely. We've got like a little pantry over there with food. Some of our food is over in here. Hold on, Kieran. And you can see that we just literally took these kind of cheap stainless steel shelves and created countertops. So these are a little higher than a normal countertop would be. I have to stand on my tippy toes when I chop. But other than that, this is working out awesome. And I'm so grateful to have a nice kitchen space. It actually is really lovely in here. This is the part where I didn't have my microphone on. Okay, so I put a gallon of milk in my pot and I'm going to heat it to 86 degrees Fahrenheit. I get my thermometer, my ladles, my cultures, all of it at cheesemaking.com. Once the milk is warm, you're going to add in your culture. This is the Flora Donica culture from cheesemaking.com, 1/8 of a teaspoon. Just sprinkle it over the top and then let it sit for about 3 to 5 minutes. And then you're going to gently stir it in. When you're stirring, make sure you do it in a really gentle up and down motion. And then after you stir that in, it's time to add in the rennet. I did 2 drops of rennet in about 1/8 of a cup of cool water. And then you take your slotted spoon or your ladle and you pour that over the top while moving your ladle. And then again, you're going to mix it really gently for about a minute. And then you're going to let it sit. So while it sits, we're going to go check on the house build. It's another gloriously warm, sunny day. And it is, October 15th, I believe. Just been loving this fall season so far, but I know the weather is turning next week. So, enjoying every second of this. So the guys were unloading all sorts of materials to get ready for this week because it is going to be a big week. But I just kind of want to show you some differences in the space since the last time. This week, the slab is getting poured for the garage floor. And these walls are getting poured. I'll get up a little closer so you can see.
Down the stairs of the Caraphilices, so that old Mrs. Caraphilic, she was back in first
What you reading?
That the plump women. Oh, sorry.
What you reading?
We're reading the Virgin Suicide, Refuge Unitas.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Josiah is finishing this block, and then they will be bracing it. There was a giant mountain of dirt here. Rosie, me and Luna, and a couple other people at the end of it. We flattened all this out. We leveled it all out.
Girl power.
I'm still sore. But yeah, we girl powered this out. And then, so this building will be Joe's office and a mother-in-law suite so that our parents can come to visit. And so this should all get filled in with concrete this week, I believe, correct? Okay. Here comes the other son.
Hello.
It looks like he's delivering pie to people. And there's Markeisha.
She's now walking on any treacherous bridges.
It is quite treacherous. I'm tempted to like take my shoes off next time. Be careful, son.
I am.
Okay.
This is your pie. You want
That's
it now?
my pie?
Yeah.
I want it up at the house.
Okay.
I'm gonna go down. All right, friends, that's the update on the build for this week. There will be a lot of footage to shoot next week. Ooh, don't fall. We'll have a lot of people here working on this because, like I said, our weather's about to shift. It is very dangerous to walk around here. I mean, look at this. Does this look safe to you? It doesn't look safe to me. I'm gonna go up and eat my pie and then we'll come back to our chèvre making in just a little bit. Oh, but wait. Let's see the sleeping baby. Let's look at the sleeping baby. Oh, there she is. Oh, precious sleeping baby. Why do they always put their heads like that?
I don't know. I have no clue. I can move her head multiple times.
I know,
it's
and they
just
always
like-
just flop it right back. I'll meet you up at the house.
Yeah.
All right. My curd has been sitting here coagulating for about 6 hours. My recipe says to go 12, but I have found that I get a better yield when I don't let it sit that long. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut the curd now and get it straining. I'm gonna put the camera up where you can see what I'm doing a little bit better. So you can see that there's a layer of whey on the top, and then my curd is firm in here. So this curd is not gonna be as firm as when you make a hard cheese, but I still like to cut it instead of just spooning it in directly in the way it is. So I'm just gonna make some cuts this direction. Let this sit for about 5 minutes and then we're gonna cut the other direction.
And then I was like, oh,
Okay, now I'm gonna cut the other direction. While this rests, I'm going to go grab my colander lined with cheesecloth. Okay, grab a bowl and a colander and a cheesecloth. I dampen the cheesecloth with whey if I have some left over in the fridge. Otherwise, you can just dampen it with a little bit of water. And then I'm just gonna go ahead and scoop this off in layers about a ½ inch deep so that it almost comes off like little curd squares. See if you can see that. See about how thick it is. I'm just gonna spoon those in to my cheesecloth. You could hang this from your larger pot with a wooden spoon, or you can do something weird like I do. I'll show you in just a second. I always hang mine from a handle on a cabinet or from something higher up and let it drain into my pot. So I usually tie it up first so that it's like a little package. Let's see if I can get this a little closer and you can see. So I've tied opposite sides of the cheesecloth, and then I'm going to tie it up to something higher and let it hang. 1 second, we'll come right back with that. I like to drain it from a higher spot down into the pot because I never seem to have a wooden spoon big enough to go across my pot.
How
I should probably just buy one, but this works. So you can see, you can really hang it from anything. So I am probably gonna leave this hanging here overnight, and then I'll come back to it, salt it, and get it in its molds tomorrow. So I guess I'm not gonna finish this vlog until tomorrow. We'll be back. It's the next morning. We are gearing up to go to our local harvest festival, so it might be a teeny bit loud in here. So this has all my whey in it. I'm gonna feed this to the pigs, but you can save it, use it in cooking. You can make soda with it. You can do all kinds of things with whey from cheese, so don't throw it out. Here's my cheese. It hung overnight, and I'm just gonna take it out of its muslin. So it's coming out of the muslin. It's in a nice ball like this, and I am just gonna put it in this bowl. Take my clean hands, and I'm going to salt it. I salt to taste. I just find that works better for me. But you can also just follow what the recipe says, which I think is like a teaspoon of salt to a gallon of milk. I like to use a good Celtic sea salt or like a Redmond mineral salt or something like that. This hand has cheese all over it, so I'm just reserving this as my stirring hand. I think I just put about a teaspoon in. Just gonna mix it up and taste it until it tastes right. See? Joe says I'm an oversalter. It is what it is. You could use a spoon for this. I just find that it's easier to mix with my hand. All right. Once the salt is where you like it, you can just store it and use it. You can freeze it. Chèvre freezes really well. If you have any little Chèvre molds, I have a couple. I don't have very many, but I like to put some of it in these molds. It'll drain out a little bit, so I'm just gonna set it on a plate in the fridge, covered with my cheesecloth. Probably I'll just let this sit in the fridge while we are at the Harvest Festival today, and then I'll take these out for storage. I like the little baskets. They make a pretty little shape for your cheese. This is nice when you're serving it like with tapenades or jams or things like that when you have people over. Same with this little cone, it just makes a nice little shape. And these have holes in them so that the Chèvre will continue to drain. These have holes in them. So if there's any residual whey in your Chèvre, the baskets are nice because it'll drain all of that out. This feels pretty done to me. I don't know that I really even need to mess around with draining it in baskets, but like I said, it's fun for the shape. All right, so there's those, and then I'm just gonna store it in glass Tupperware for when we're just using it, because like I said, we use this in place of cream cheese, eat it on crackers. It goes pretty fast at our house. And that's about it. If you want to flavor your Chèvre by adding herbs and stuff to it, you just do it at the same time that you salt it, and then put it in your molds or Tupperwares. And that's it, you guys. This is probably the easiest cheese you'll ever make. So if I leave these in the baskets for a while, what's gonna happen is this cheese is gonna dry out a little bit more. It'll become a consistency where you can cut it. So if that's something you wanna do with your Chèvre, you might wanna invest in those baskets. Otherwise, you can just store it in your Tupperware and use it as a spreadable cheese. So I'm just gonna put this in the fridge like this for about a day. Now I'm just eating what was left in the bowl because it's so delicious. Okay, friends, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed making a little bit of Chèvre with me. Have a blessed week. We'll see you next week. Can you say goodbye?
Goodbye.
Say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Sock hands.
Goodbye.